Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Osmond TV Gold, Osmond Gold TV, if you want. I just seen this morning, to be honest, and I just thought this is absolutely like the video's called "This is a Big Deal." It's about this woman retiring and falling out with Trump, but just briefly here, Osmond Gold pretty much summarizes politics and democracy up in one diagram in about 2 minutes. Absolutely sums up democracy and politics, to be honest, and what's going on in the world and why it goes on. And as we've been mentioning, we're heading towards a new world order, a global plan of the global elites that doesn't really give a shit about what the peasants think or want. And we're going to be took to this new world order, whether we like it or not. But he goes on about politics and why things never get any better. I mean, ultimately, why is because all these prime ministers and presidents and leaders are all working to the same goal and agenda of taking us to the new world order. That's why things just systematically get worse, like never gets better. That's why. But pretty much the people, the peasants, the public, they're all idiots, to be honest, when it comes to politics and it comes to voting and it comes to anything at all. They're pretty much all fucking idiots. So we just get ping ponged back from prime minister to prime minister on either. I mean, it works again. This is America, and he goes on about Democrats and Republicans. Well, here, all it is Labour and Conservative. It's the same game. We get played by the same game in every country. Yet nobody's clever enough to figure out that we're getting fucked over by the same game in every country. And yeah, we bounce between the Conservatives and Labour thinking they're going to make it better. They just systematically make it worse. Like, that's what happens in Britain, the same that happens in America, the same that's probably happened in France and Germany and you name it. And nobody can click on that it's happening everywhere. And the reason it's happening everywhere is because we're all heading towards a new world order. The reason it always gets worse is because we're heading to a new world order, which nobody's going to like. Nobody's going to like the new world order. So let's have a listen to this. As Osmond Gold absolutely nails it in one diagram.
In Washington, D.C. and
Yes.
just never fit in.
Right.
Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more.
No, this is what happens is that I'm going to explain how that works. So basically, you're going to have, let's go like this, right? And we'll make it a little bit bigger. All right. So we'll go like this. And then we'll go like this. And so the graph here is called quality of life, okay? And here's what happens is that you start with a Democrat and things get worse. And so you hope that you can vote for a Republican and then things will get better. But then they don't, so they get worse. And then you think, okay, well, we're going to vote for a Democrat because the Republican didn't make things better. And then they get worse. And then you think, well, this Democrat didn't fucking do anything. All right, well, we're going to vote for a Republican this time. Then things will get better. But then they get worse. And then so now you have a Republican, so you think to yourself, okay, well, you know what we need to do? We need to get a real Democrat in here like we used to have all the way back up here. And then if we do that, now things will get better. And so they vote for a Democrat. And then things get worse. And so then after that, they think, all right, well, listen, we've had Democrats a long time, but does anybody remember the good old days of Reagan or George Bush? Well, you know what we need to do? We need to vote for a Republican. So then they vote for a Republican, and then things get worse. This is it. This is welcome to the last 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, in Britain as well. Again, and probably, again, I only know really British and American politics, but pretty much every country in the world's fucking got worse over the last 50 years as well. So it's probably, you can apply this to every country in the world. Again, Democrats, Republicans, Labour, Conservatives. Again, whatever the two opposing parties are in the political sphere of any country, unless it's just a communist fucking state. But yeah, like basically, if you're in a democracy, you're not in a democracy, is what we're saying here. You're in a shit show where we get passed around from the two opposing parties. I mean, in Britain, we might break the mould in the next election and elect Reform and Nigel Farage by the looks of things, which won't do anything. It's the exact same game played out, except we're putting a new dot on the board here. We're putting a yellow dot on the board, but it's still down here at the bottom. And it's still going down. Do you know what I mean? But people think change makes things better, but it doesn't. It's just another way of making it worse. And literally, that's what was happening here. It isn't politics. It isn't democracy. It's a shit show, and this is the formula, basically the formula of demise, where the public can't fathom why it keeps getting worse. So they elect someone else to make it worse. And again, if you can't blame the same person if it keeps bouncing between people and somebody else does something. Well, the blame's being passed around here, and it doesn't quite look like it's a plan, does it? Because different people are getting us there. But if all these people were ultimately in on the plan, which they all are, because they're all politicians, bigwigs, in the rooms of power and the back fucking, you know what I mean? And in all these fucking clubs like the Fabian Society and the Freemasons and the Bilderberg Group, which are ultimate proof as well that you're being fucked over. All these groups are proof you're being fucked over. They're all circumventing democracy, all these little clubs that they're in. So you don't have democracy because it's being circumvented. But yeah, I thought this was brilliant from Asmongold. Absolutely brilliant. This is absolutely summarises it up. What's happening, what's happened, and what's going to happen again. There's a new dot on the board down here, which everybody thinks is going to make things better, i.e. Nigel Farage. And it won't. It absolutely won't make anything better. It's a way of bringing in someone else to make it worse, who will have a different ideology, who'll remove different rules, or bring in different rules because of his ideology. Systematically making it worse, in ultimately heading towards the New World Order, which is what all this is about in the first place. Well, I thought that was brilliant. Summary from Asmongold. That's literally what happens. But in England, it's Labour to Conservative, back to Labour, Conservative, back to Labour, Conservative. All the way, keep going downwards, on a downward spiral. Because ultimately, they're both the same team. Or they're ultimately both the same team, controlled by the same people. The same is in America. Exactly the same that's going on in America and France, because it's a new world order. It's a new world order. The whole world will eventually be this fucking. I mean, they say socialist, but it's communist. Yeah, but I thought it was brilliant from Asmongold, to be honest. This is literally what happens to every election in probably every country in the world. It just systematically gets worse while each of these people are telling you they're going to make it better, while we slide forevermore into the New World Order. Because every one of these people works for the fucking New World Order. That's the truth of it. So, again, if Nigel Farage gets in, pretty much you can guarantee he works for the New World Order, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be allowed in. He just wouldn't. They would kill him. You know what I mean?
This is it. That's what happens. That's the reason why it ping-pongs back and forth behind the different parties. Because neither one of them deliver on their promises, neither one of them improve the quality of life, and they all are basically surviving on ping-ponging nostalgia from the previous president that they mistakenly believe was actually trying to help them, but at the time, the previous president made it worse themselves. So that's it. That's what's happened.
And the results are all.
And in England as well, and probably France, Germany, Spain, you name it. Everywhere. Things get systematically worse while they're promising you they're going to make them better, is the game here.
Ways the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman.
No, they don't.
The debt goes higher. Corporate and global interests.
Oh, and by the way, every graph supports what I'm saying. All of the graphs agree with me.
Remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas.
Yep. She's right.
Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations.
Yeah, I mean, does any of this sound familiar as well? Just everything the same in Britain. And probably all the other countries as well. Again, the debt keeps getting bigger. She mentioned there, companies get bought out by big companies. Again, who owns all these big companies? The global elites. It's about owning everything, and controlling everyone. And when you own everything, you can control everyone because you give these people access to everything. If you own everything, you can't have a car, you can't have a house, you can. Do you know what I mean? When you own the system, the entire system, and everything within the system, well, you control the system and everybody in it. So that's the game here. That's where we're going. That the New World Order is total control of everything. And again, you can kind of see, if you're paying attention, that happening in the background. It's been happening your entire life as these conglomerates and multinationals buy up all these companies systematically. Every one of these companies, from McDonald's to Burger King, KFC, they were all set up by businessmen, individual people back in the day, but now they're all under one umbrella or multiple umbrellas under corporations because they've all been bought up. But all these businesses in their inception were small businesses that set out in one shop that got bigger and bigger and bigger till somebody. I mean, if you've ever watched the McDonald's film on, I think it's on Netflix, it's called The Founder, about how basically the guy stole McDonald's off the people who started McDonald's, and that's the world over, and everything is owned by these corporations now, and again, once you own everything, it's called the game Monopoly. Once you've monopolized the board, you are the complete power of the board, and you own and control everything. So you in effect own and control everybody because they don't get anything without your say. So it's not. It's a real bad future. I mean, again, I've maintained everybody's going to hate the New World Order if you even make it there in the first place. Yeah, it's going to be an absolute shit show to get there, and once we're there, everyone's going to fucking hate it. But a lot of people won't know any different. You'll be brainwashed and born into it, and in a couple of generations' time, it will be the norm to everybody when all those people have gone who were aware of the old world and aware of freedoms. When we're all gone, this new world order will be the norm for everybody, and everybody will be born into it and accept it. But it'll be a shit show, and it'll be awful. But these people don't want to wake up and stop their demise, so what can you do about it? Just fucking wave goodbye as the ship sinks. Wave goodbye as we go down here is the best we can do at the moment, because the rest of the crew are too busy trying to fucking decide what sex they are and get their hair done, and they're too busy looking at their iPhone to notice the ship is sinking here. Hello, the ship is sinking. So yeah, we don't have democracy. We have the illusion of democracy, which is ultimately heading us towards communism of the worst kind.
Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline.
That's right.
The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income.
Well, this has been the case for 40 years.
As both parents have to work in order to simply survive.
Exactly.
And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream.
It's because they won't, because you got to be asleep. That's the reason why.
Yeah. You got to be asleep to believe it. The American Dream. Yeah, very good line there from George Carlin. You've got to be asleep to believe it. Again, a man who very much knew what was going on, George Carlin. The very, very good speech he has about your owners. They own you, they own everything, they own the Senate, they own everything. They bought and paid for the Senate. Again, I can't remember the full speech word for word, but I'll maybe play it because George Carlin's bang on. Hold on a minute here. Here we are. Here's the truth.
Consumption. It's the new national pastime. Fuck baseball. It's consumption. The only true lasting American value that's left. Buying things. Buying things. People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need. So they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, and you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They say we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. And you say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, oh, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass.
Yeah, I mean, people are dumb as fuck, like but that's on purpose. Like, people can't understand. Like, yeah, I mean, you can be semi-clever as well, but in the wrong fields. Like, ultimately, since you were there, you were born. There's been a global agenda at play, and everybody involved in the global agenda is not going to tell you about the global agenda, or it won't work. You know what I mean? So, keeping the global agenda a bit of a secret is kind of the way of things here. It's the only way you can kind of pull off what they're doing. I mean, we're literally like 90 odd percent complete here. I can't stress how close we are now to the New World Order. I mean, we've took leaps and strides. I mean, since 2020 and COVID, we've been fast tracking this New World Order like there's fucking no tomorrow, to be honest. And in the last year alone, with the Online Safety Act and the digital IDs, yeah, we're really fast tracking the New World Order. I mean, we're 90% complete here, to be honest, and probably more, maybe even a 95% complete here. We're waiting for the economy to finally fucking fold, the digital IDs to come in. We're probably going to have a big war and reduce the population slightly and make it a more manageable population to control. But we're in the 90s here. We're just waiting on a war, a digital ID. All these things are kind of in sight, kind of have been announced. So the completion of the New World Order is, I mean, 2030 is the date. So there you go. We're what? We're 4 years. We're 4 years from the New World Order at this point. So again, there's talk of a big war as well, and that the predictions or the prophecies on the war is a three to 3.5 year war, and we've got 4 years to go here. And there's talk of war next year on the economic forums. The Economist's front cover, starting in sometime in summer, which is half a year away, which leaves us exactly 3.5 years, still 2030 there, perfect. So there we go. There we go. So the future's a shit show. I'm waiting for his owners bit here. The owners, they own you.
More kids pass. The school looks good. Everybody's happy. The IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points. And pretty soon, all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there. It's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long...
Yeah, they own everything. Everything. I don't just make that up. They literally own everything at this point. I mean, they kind of owned everything from the inception. They kind of built everything, is the other side of it. And anything that they didn't build and own, they then bought because they ultimately own all the economies of the world as well. Again, you're dealing with the people who really truly run the world here. That's also why they believe it to be their world and they can do what they want with their world, and this is the plan for their world. So again, you have no fucking decision making in this. It's like you're the peasant, I'm the peasant. This is what we're doing, and you can fucking like it or lump it. You're not gonna fucking like it, to be honest. But we're fucking doing it. So again, I maintain everyone's gonna hate the New World Order. Absolutely hate the New World Order. Everybody that isn't only the global elites who built the New World Order are going to like the New World Order. And we're 4 years away, according to their predictions and their timeline. But yeah, they own everything.
Since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets, and they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all.
They got judges in the back pockets. What happened at the Epping scenario there with the judge who was in the Fabian Society? Also, Keir Starmer and many Labour people are in the Fabian Society. Again, they've got the judges in their back pocket. Again, it's not a lie. Again, through clubs and through all these little things in the background that a lot of people don't know about. Everybody's either bought, paid for, or in some sort of fucking club that's on board with the agenda. Again, George Carlin said this years ago, absolutely years ago as well. Like it's as true today. It's more true today than it was when he said it.
All of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions.
Yeah, they own all the news.
They control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Yeah, but most of these people are fucking zombies. Like the fucking, honest to God, like most the general people are fucking zombies, idiots, morons. Like, and if you even try and approach these subjects with a lot of them, they look at you glass-eyed, like they don't know what to do with any of this information. That they really don't. Again, like yes, it's a lot of it's troubling in many ways where we're going here, but this is the truth. This is the future, and the only way to stop it is to wake people up, really, and the people could possibly stop it. Again, it's supposed to be a democracy. But the people walk blindly into this, and again, the ones that you do, again, anyone will know you try and talk about anything serious with the fucking zombies. And it doesn't go well, to be honest, because they're all fucking zombies. So, yeah, it's a shit show. It's not going to go well, to be honest, really isn't.
That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you.
Yeah, and again, this is age old. George Carlin, I believe he's been dead for quite a while. Again, they want it back. They want your pension. They want your retirement. Look what's happening in England right now with the economy and the upcoming budget. There's no money, and Rachel Reeves is going to rob everybody and take all your money back off you. This is literally what's happening. George Carlin predicting it probably over 10 years ago. Because it's a global agenda, a global plan, and again, it's all. If you know the plan, again, I've known this plan for 15 years. Every single day for 15 years, I've watched us take steps towards the New World Order. We've never took steps backwards, not once, not one day did we take a step backwards. We have always took steps towards this New World Order, a global government, global governance, A one world economy, and all the economies are collapsing that will bring in the one world economy. A war of massive World War Three basically will bring in the world governance because the war will be bad and the cry of this can never happen again. So yeah, basically, like the future is an economic collapse and a war, a real bad war. That is the future because that's the future to take us to the new world order of the global elites, and the global elites will not fight or be anywhere near the Third World War. And as they own all the money in the world, when the economic collapse happens, they have bunkers and they've stocked up fucking supplies, you name it. These people will not be affected in any way, shape, or form. They will not be in any of the bullshit that happens. And in the aftermath of everything, once it's all said and done, they'll rebuild the world. And that might have happened before when we're looking at all this reset crack. Um, Again, we've been the Economic Forum has mentioned a reset. Again, all this sort of Tataria 1800s things. Was there a reset back then? And did the current powers that be, who were the powers that be back then as well, have a reset of form back in the day? And again, that's what all the asylums were about and the orphans. And basically, if you didn't take to the reset, you were put in an asylum. I mean, it could go a similar way down the road here in the New World Order. Once we're into the New World Order, everybody that will not play a ball with the New World Order might maybe get put in an asylum. Didn't take the rip to the reset. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's George Carlin. You have owners, they own you, they own everything. And that was said 20 years ago. They own more now, they own more. They now own absolutely everything. And we're in the final stages of the plan. Again, 4 years, 1 month to the New World Order. So, again, Asmongold absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it with that graph. Back and forth, but just in this country, it's Labour and Conservatives, not the Democrats and Republicans. But ultimately, it's the same game. We're all being played by the same hand, and everybody's walking blindly towards a New World Order, which they'll absolutely hate if you make it through the economic collapse and the Third World War. So yeah, the future's a shit show, and because the blind public of the earth refuses to fucking wake up and we're too busy watching X Factor and fucking bullshit, everyone's gonna suffer the future now. So it's not really stoppable. This, to be honest, again, I can't see it. I can't see it. So, yeah, as the graph predicts, let's put a yellow dot at the bottom here for Nigel Farage. And we'll ping the arrow downward towards Nigel Farage. I mean, if you look, if a war starts, if a Third World War starts next year, Nigel Farage ain't fucking being Prime Minister of shit. Emergency powers and whoever's in at the time will probably cement the job to see the job through. Like what, you know what I mean? A bit like Churchill, maybe. I mean, we might need someone new before Starmer again. But in the people in the political sphere at the moment, I wouldn't pick any of them. I literally wouldn't pick a single politician out there to manage us through the Third World War. So, doom and gloom, really, to be honest. Doom and gloom, innit? Like, but this is reality, unfortunately. Like, this is what's happening to us. And it's heading down, as you can see, heading down a road. But it's all part of a big plan there, the New World Order, that's what you want to call it. But, yeah, all this it's not happening by chance. It's not happening by accident. The reason we're always going downhill is because we're heading in a certain direction towards a certain destination. Again, a destination that nobody, not one peasant upon the earth is going to like. So, yeah. Brace yourself for the shit show that'll be 2026, I guarantee it. Brace yourself for the shit show 2026. Enjoy Christmas and the last of 2025. Trust me, enjoy yourself. Time is shorter than you think. I'll leave it there, peace.